a podcast that empowers you to unleash your inner goddess and take the leap of faith to live your best life.
Hi, gorgeous.
Karen Pulver joins her fellow goddesses in soulful conversations about gratitude, personal growth, authentic living, and a bevy of topics affecting women today. Let's start the show with your host, Karen Pulver.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Grateful Goddesses. It's so nice to see you all on this Wednesday evening. I heard Mercury's in retrograde, so hopefully everyone is not saying bad things to their partners and being nice to everybody. Tonight, we had a guest that was going to be coming, but unfortunately she's sick, so she's rescheduled. So if you're here to see Maureen Riley, I'm so sorry, but please listen to her episode that's on gratefulgoddesses.com. She's an energy healer, and she's really quite fantastic talking about illnesses, and the source of your healing really stems from a lot of your spiritual stuff. So she's just great, and she will join us another time. But on every single episode of Grateful Goddesses that I record, I always take the last 10 minutes to ask, what are your favorite things? Now, I know that's like an Oprah term, but when I think about it, I'm a preschool teacher and I do show and tell. And I love to see the kids light up when they bring their show and tell. And sometimes like they'll just sit there. I mean, this is what's in my hand right now. They'll be like, this is a blue mask. And they're so happy just to show their blue mask. But then I say to them, tell me more. And they'll say, I like it. I'll say, okay, tell me more. Mommy gave it to me. And I'm like, oh, mommy gave it to you. And how do you feel? I feel so happy. And that got me thinking, wow, in show and tell, if kids can show like something, whatever, like sometimes honest to God, they'll show like a pen and they'll say, Daddy gave it to me and it makes me happy. And I thought, what about adults? Like we have favorite things. We can do show and tell too. These things make us feel happy. We all want to feel good, right? We all want to feel good and happy. So why not share these things, whether it be a ritual or a product or a photo, something that makes you feel good. So I find it really interesting after a really like serious interview, for example, with someone. And then at the end, I say, what is your favorite thing? What makes you feel happiness and joy? And what they tell me. And I did a little summary of the 60 plus episodes that I've done in the past 2 years. These are the things that make people happy. Journals. Any type of journal. Many people said they love to journal. They do gratitude journaling. Some people free write. They just write and write and write. Some people tell stories, but journals every single day, spending time to reflect. Gemstones. That was huge. So big, in fact, that I went out and got myself all these gemstones. And I don't know really all of them of what they are. I think this is labradorite. I'm getting better because my guests are teaching me. But what I do before a show is I kind of mix it up and I look and I pull one out. Okay, so this was mine for tonight. Here we go. And this is kind of funny because I have some Canadians joining us. This is what my son gave me. It's a Canadian flag on, oh my gosh, type in the chat what kind of stone it is. I don't know, but it makes me feel good.
It's an amethyst, probably. It's an amethyst, and it's probably from Thunder Bay.
There you go. My son gave me this. It makes me happy. I'm going to put it on my computer. So a lot of rose quartz. A lot of people love rose quartz, which I believe is a love stone. Correct me, Linda, if I'm wrong, but it's supposed to bring joy, like love, and attract that to your life. I also
it's the heart. I have some in my Brita water. So everybody that drinks water out of my Brita, gets the love, and it opens the heart.
You can do that. I'm gonna put some in my husband's drink tonight. Okay, good.
Yeah, put some in your bra.
Or my bra, yes. And then other ones, it's kind of funny which were the most popular stones, but moonstone came up, and turquoise and labradorite. So again, I will defer to my people here that are joining us what those mean. Linda? You're the gemologist right now.
I don't know them all, but certainly amethyst, and these are mine. Now, these are to keep you in sobriety, but they don't keep you sober if you drink. Trust me. And my teachings, my shamanic teachings tell me that sobriety, the way they use the term, it's don't make it bigger than it is and don't make it smaller than it is. Just keep it as it is. You know, the first time you tell a sad story, oh my God, it's so dramatic. It takes you a half an hour to get through your story and you're bawling. But after you've told it so damn many times, you can say, oh yeah, this, and I'm done. So this is about sobriety. Don't make it bigger. Don't make it smaller.
Oh, this stone that I have too.
Beautiful.
Okay. That's good to know. So I discovered, it's so funny because my son always loved to collect gemstones. Every trip we would go on, he would say, Mommy, please buy me, these stones. He had a room full of stones. And even when he got older, he put them in different places in our house. And I didn't understand what he was doing until I started interviewing people. And they would say to me, yeah, well, if you put a stone in this corner, it will help with that. Stones have energy. You need to charge them up in the sun and clean them. There's a whole bunch of stuff on stones. So tune into the episodes because many, many people love stones. The next item that was really high on the list was, can you guess? Animals. Lauren, would that be one of yours? Yes. Dogs, cats, birds. I mean, you name it. And animals just make people feel good. I was hoping my little puppy would come up and join me, but he's not. Of all times, when I want him here, he doesn't show. But I know, Lauren, you'll pick yours up. But animals, Elaine Soloway, for example, she's one of my guests. She has a dog named Doris. He saved her life, actually. She was taking some stuff into an elevator during COVID. She had her mask on, whatever. And the doors almost closed on her. And Doris, who was on the leash, pulled her back. So, I mean, animals. Nature was another big one. Tiffany Seibert talked about Lake Michigan. Oh, there we have a puppy. We'll see him or her in a minute. You can unmute and tell us who is this little
This
cutie?
is Sleepy Daisy, who's like, why are you bothering me?
Daisy's like your baby,
Yeah,
right?
she's my baby. She likes to sit like this.
Yeah, we discovered, because we just inherited actually our dog a year ago. A very good friend of ours passed away unexpectedly, and Archer was his dog, and his family asked us if we would take care of him. And at first we were like, I don't know, he's going to remind us of our friend all the time, but now he's ours, and it's like bittersweet, but he's just no judgment, always there, right?
Yes, they're the best.
She's like a baby.
She is a baby because she sleeps in my bed at night. And when she feels like kissing you, you can't make her stop because she's just like, okay.
I love it. Okay.
That's my Daisy May.
So then I didn't say this yet. The next was nature. Tiffany Seibert, like Michigan, and Ellen Schwartz, her family cottage, and Robert Koch, he loved the ocean. If you live near a body of water, how lucky are you? Raise your hand if you live near a body of water. Okay, you are lucky because I'm about a mile from the lake and I love to go for walks on the lake. And I know, we all know that nature rejuvenates us. So that's amazing if you do. And if you don't, go to the body of water that's closest to you. Okay, the next on the list was photos. Family photos, or photos of, not like those cheesy, Instagram photos, like photos like this. I'll show you, because this is one of my favorite things. Photos like this. This is one of mine. My husband captured me looking over my daughter's shoulders, both my daughters, looking at their Instagram, but they allowed me in for that moment. Vanessa, you have a photo that is absolutely amazing that Vanessa, one of my featured goddesses, would like to share, if you can. And can you tell us a little bit about this photo?
Just needed to unmute myself. Okay, so can you see both images? Hang on, maybe I need to back it up a little. Okay, so this is my mom with my brother, and that picture would have been taken in maybe 1974 or 5. And just last year in October, someone captured this photo of me and my son. Totally, we didn't know the picture was being taken. And when I saw this picture, it brought back the memory of this photo. And then when you put them together, it's like history repeated itself in this incredible way. And like not my son's hairstyle with my brother's, thank goodness. But
but you and your mom share the same hairstyle.
We have the same hairstyle. And yeah, I love the two together because it just is full circle, pretty incredible. But anyway.
And Vanessa joined us as a featured goddess on the episode with Hope Edelman, talking about motherless daughters. Because Vanessa, you lost your mother when you were 15.
Yep.
And you still don't remember her hair, which is so interesting that like you've been wearing your hair like that.
Right.
So thank you for that. Okay. And then rituals. We have Jason.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
What I wanted to say was rituals. And I was going to say, don't worry, I'm going to give everyone a turn. So I want to, if you don't have your favorite thing ready, you can go take a minute to either get it or think about it. Rituals was a big one. Jason Rosenthal, whose wife passed away from cancer, she wrote an article that was in the New York Times that was, please marry my husband, before she died. And it went to the top, like it was, the bestseller article. And it's actually going to be made into a movie. So I did an interview with him. His wife was just an amazing soul and just incredible with connecting with people and doing really fun activities here in the city of Chicago. And one of the things he shared for his favorite things was an R-shaped like metal sculpture that they all signed. And at dinner time, they would pass it around and he would say, tell a story of something that happened to you today that was positive. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do that too with my kids. But what we do in my family is highs and lows. We say a high or a low, or you can pass. And I realized though, I don't know if it's so great to talk about the lows, but it's okay. We talk about it. And then I'm like, well, what's the high? What's the silver lining in the low? But I love that he did something like that. And when they have people over, they also have to tell the story. So you are prepared when you go to his house. Everyone knows that you're going to have to tell a story of something positive in your day. Okay, the next item that was so popular are candles, or these guys. If you don't have this, a lot of people said they love these. And this is, now I'm spacing on what it is.
Crystal.
No, it's not a crystal.
Salt.
It's salt.
Oh.
It's salt.
A salt. Yes, Vanessa, I should remember because I went to a salt cave with you.
Yeah.
This is a salt lamp that glows and it's supposed to emit energy. And I just like it. But it's funny, a lot of people said they love that and they love lighting candles. This one's Balance and Harmony that I often light during an episode, but the smells and just the looking at the flame really helps people to feel happy. And finally, jewelry. Jewelry was, I'm saying it funny, jewelry or jewelry, however Canadian or American accent you say it, it makes people really happy. A lot of them are actually gemstone jewelry. Tanis, she'll probably be joining us soon. Tanis Coughlin, who I interviewed, she's an energy healer. She received this necklace and it was, what's that? Oh yeah, I want you to share that. So she received a necklace of a Twillo tree and it was placed in her mailbox anonymously. Like she just opened her mailbox and there it was. It was from a stranger. And she decided, oh my gosh, that's going to be my logo for my company. And it's, she still doesn't know who gave it to her. I thought that was a great story. And also Alison Robertson, who I interviewed, she has gold bangles and each one of them, like she collects them and each one of them tells a story. And she was telling us like, this one's from my grandmother and she telling us a story. And this one's from my 50th birthday. And I thought that was so cool. And last but not least, and I'm so glad she's here, Linda Babulik, who wrote the book Zest Your Life. She has a goddess painting of drums and butterflies, and she looks at it each morning and says this goddess prayer. Oh, she's going to get it. I knew you would. I'm so glad that I saw you were here. And every morning she says, calling the goddesses in me to step into my power and my truth so that I can lead and set the intent of having a very powerful day. That blew me away when I interviewed her and she showed me that, because I was like, goddesses.
It's right next to my bow and arrows.
I love it. And I actually wrote that on a sticky pad and I put it on my mirror because I like to show that. Okay, so I brought along my Let's Make a Deal bag, which is one of my happy bags. We're all in this together. And I have a bunch of favorite things in here of products that I want to show you. But I want to give you guys a chance to talk. So if you would like to share one of your favorite things, raise your hand. Okay, David.
Well, I don't want to share anything in particular, but I think the people who tabulated those answers did a little sort of cleansing, because I'm surprised sex, drugs, and rock and roll did not make that list.
No,
that's only because you haven't been interviewed yet, David.
Yeah, no, there was one individual that's a musician. He loves his son's guitar. Okay, sex, Cheryl Sloane. She does love the banana, which is a sex toy. Rock and roll. Peaches, who I interviewed, she's a singer. So yes, there you go.
Well, I didn't know the I've seen national polls that are just very similar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, isn't that funny? I didn't know that. Like, I just did this literally before the show. I was like, Lauren, I have to like go through everything. And I was going through it and I was like, wow, it's so interesting because everyone, and then even the Stones, like rose quartz was like a big winner. So go out and get a rose quartz. Okay, Bongai, did you want to share? You look like you were going to raise your hand.
Yes, I was going to share. I just love candles, and the vanilla scent is like my favorite. So I light them all the time. And if I'm having a bad day, I just take my candle, listen to music, and it calms me down. If I'm just, I have candles all over my house, all over in my bedroom, in the bathroom, everywhere. So yeah, candles. And that salty candle you just raised, I have one of those as well. So yeah, I love them. Yeah, I have one exactly like that.
Yeah, I love it. And candles are great, but sometimes they don't smell so good, right? Have you ever walked into someone's house and it's like overpowering with the smell?
Yes, there are some with like a very strong scent, but I like the soft vanilla. I like vanilla a lot. Yeah, so that's my favorite.
There is something about vanilla that's very calming, apparently.
Yeah,
I did hear that.
Yeah. Well, and lavender, I like lavender as well.
Oh, lavender is great.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you come to Chicago, I'm going to take you down the street. There's a candle store where you can make your own candles.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And there's 150 cents and you get to put them all into a candle.
Okay.
Hi,
I love
Stella.
that.
Okay. Who else would like to share?
I'll show you my bow and arrow.
Okay, Linda, show us your bow and arrow.
So next to the goddess image, this is hanging. So this is my bow. And these are my arrows. My son made me the arrows with the pink fletching. And I hang it so that it represents the goddess Artemis. And she is the goddess of the hunt. And this is going straight to whatever I'm hunting for, straight into the heavens. So it hangs right next to the goddess. And that's what I look at. It reminds me of where I'm going, straight up.
I love that. And you also every morning say that mantra.
Yep, I call in the goddess.
That's awesome. That's why I love seeing you because, grateful goddesses,
I wore my leopard skin just for you.
Oh, wow. We like animal print. Animal print is fun. Vanessa, how about you? What did you bring to the show and tell today? She's going to go get it. Okay. Who else would like to share? Okay, Lauren, and then Rochelle.
Hi, everybody.
I feel like saying, and Lauren, you'll laugh at this. I feel like saying, Rochelle, I really like your patience. Because that's what I would do for the 3-year-olds. You're next. You're sitting so nicely. Okay, Lauren,
and
go
it's
ahead.
so funny, Karen, that you say that, because in our school, I used to say, Yeshli Savlanut. I have patience. I can wait. Because it was a Hebrew nursery school, so we would put in Hebrew wherever we could.
Oh my gosh,
So,
I would sing, I am waiting, I am waiting. Yes,
yeah,
I
know that.
Okay, sorry, we got off track.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, it's funny, Karen, because when you said, well, you're doing your favorite things, photographs are definitely my favorite things and my animals, but I needed to find something that was little. So my computer is covered with crystals like you have.
Oh, really?
There's my rose quartz. And then I have all different kinds of amethyst, not just because of its healing powers, but because it's my birthstone. And
is that February?
Yeah. I love purple. So I always felt like I was born into purple.
Wait, Lauren, when's your birthday?
My birthday is the 16th of February.
Okay, writing it down. There you go.
And then I was thinking about, of course, my kids and all their stuff, but this is a new piece of jewelry that I have adopted since my mom passed away.
Put it really close to the.
And it really, where's the camera?
Yes.
There it is. So it's a piece of jewelry that was made. My mom designed it with my friend Ofer, who's an Israeli artist. He's a jewelry maker in Israel. I met him in 1985. He made my necklace that I wear every day. He made that for me by hand when I was a student there. And in 2001, there was a real problem in Israel where the Intifada had come, and all of my friends who were there were suffering terribly because their stores were closed and they couldn't make any money and their businesses were falling apart. And the American Jewish organization, I think it was partly UJA and there was another one, banded all of the JCCs together in the country, and they started to have Israeli fairs, and they brought hundreds of artists from Israel over to the States and set them up so that there was a show every weekend so that they can recoup some money to be able to take care of their families at home. And they're my family. I mean, they're my boys. They stayed at our house and they lived with us for the better part of a year. And my mom was very gracious because it was an upheaval, of course, because there were 4 more men in the house and it was very different. But Ofer and my mother, Ofer is the older brother of all of my friends, and he and I were like kindred spirits. When we met each other, if you see a picture of us, we look like we're a brother and sister. His daughter is a spitting image of me when I was that age. We have pictures, and I don't have them nearby, but the picture of Einav at 1 is the same picture of me at 1, same hair. It was unbelievable. So my mom and Ofer were sitting. My grandmother had passed away in September, and they had arrived, I think, in November. And the diamond in the middle here was my grandmother's. It was her engagement ring. And my mom wanted to wear it, but she didn't know what to do. And she really loved this ring. Ofer calls the ring the Sabra. And it's about hugging people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can see, it sort of looks like a hug. And he didn't have any jewelry in it. It was, no gemstones. It was just the white gold. And together at the kitchen table for about 2 hours, they designed a ring. And this is what it became. And my mom wore it, and every time she would put it on, she only wore it for special occasions. And every time she put it on, she'd say, I'm taking Grandma Shirley with me. Come on, let's go. Grandma, let's go to the party, or let's go where we're going. And right after my mom had passed, we unfortunately had to go right to the vault and empty it because we knew we didn't have access to it the right way. So we had to get stuff out before it got closed. So we ran the day after she had passed away, or I guess the Monday, and we got all the stuff. And when we opened the box, the first thing I saw was this. And now you have to understand that my mom and I have a long history of, my mother had the best jewelry in the whole world, and I wanted none of it because it was all too big for me. And it was just, it's my sister's. She was the lady who was going to take care of all the jewels.
That's the only
my mother,
the only thing I wanted.
Yeah, well, my mother made it very clear that when she passed away, this was the conversation for years, I am not allowed to decide who gets what because I would sell it all. So it all goes to my sister and she has to keep it. And when Michelle says it's okay, she can hand it out. But I looked at my sister and I said, this is what I want. And my
That's the
sister's
one
like, I'll
thing.
never wear that by all means. And I took it and it was hard, because I was holding on to it. I'm like, why am I going to hold it? I have to have it sized. So while my mother would never have worn it every day, for me, I need to wear it every day. So every day I say to myself, my mom is with me, my grandmother's with me, my kids are with me, and off we go. And it's now become a part of my everyday. So
Oh my
thank
gosh,
you.
you get an A+ for show and tell
Thanks. Well,
today.
nursery school, 22 years. Come on, 30 years.
For those
I'm
of
used
us
to
who are
this
just joining us, the lovely ladies, Tennis, Renata, and Michelle, we were talking show and tell, adult show and tell, favorite things. And Tennis, I actually told the story of your Twillo tree. Can you are you wearing it? Yeah, look, okay, we'll unmute her. I told the story that, oh, she's not unmuting. Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Hi.
I told the story about your necklace because on your episode, you talked about your favorite thing being that necklace that a stranger gave it to you. And then now it's your logo. And it means, did you ever find out who gave it to you?
I did. Yeah. Yeah, I did. It was a friend.
Oh.
But she did it in secret. She didn't really want me to know. She wanted it to be that. And there was a note of appreciation for all that I do.
Okay.
And it was then put in anonymously, but I guessed. So
because we're talking about favorite things on this show and how at every episode that I interview people, I know Bonga, I asked you, yours was, and I'm remembering yours was a picture of your grandchildren that she loves to look at. And Dennis, yours was your necklace, and everyone has different favorite things. And I went over Linda's was a goddess picture that she has. And next is Rochelle, because we're going sort of whoever wants to share. Okay. So Rochelle, if we can unmute you, I'd love to know what your favorite thing is. Or one of them.
I'm sticking with that jewelry theme. I find a lot of my jewelry has meaning to it, or I give it meaning, and it becomes an anchor for me. So this particular ring, it has the Hebrew Peh Shema Yisrael, and when I wear it in the way that it is done, I feel like I'm protected. I feel like it's a shield and I'm protected. So I wear this ring absolutely all the time. And on my other hand, I have a ring that I had made with my Hebrew name, which my mother called me, which was my Yiddish name, which is Rezala. And then underneath, I have another ring that says joy. So every day I'm reminded that what do I do that can bring joy into my life? And the other thing, Rezala, I think of my mother. And I also, it reminds me to do if I'm running through a rough day, do I have to do some sort of inner child work? So it just reminds me of paying attention to the little child that needs some attention, that needs some clearing, that needs something. So my jewelry becomes an anchor. And the last anchor is this necklace, which you can't really see right now. But it's like, it looks like a lady dancing, and it reminds me of freedom. Like, what's it like to just be free and just dance and just just be expressive? So it just represents a lot of what I think is just so important: self-expression, freedom, joy, connection to my mom, and like prayer and feeling protected. So I love jewelry that has a anchor for me. And a lot of the pieces that I do, I buy specifically for that reason. And and the last thing that I want to say that's really big show and tell, I love glasses. I'm like a glass lunatic. The more bizarre, I have like a crazy pair that are black with like these pink frame. I mean, that's like these pink.
Oh, go get them. Get them.
They're just they're like Dame Edna glasses. They're just funky. So I just think glasses, I need them I don't need them for reading. I need them to like literally see 2 inches in front of me. So I just think that if you have to wear them, let them be fun and playful. And I can't even tell you how many pairs of glasses I have. I must have like 9 or 10, and they're all funky and they're all something, and they just create like a mood and a spirit. Some are more serious, some are more crazy and bold, and you want to leave an impact. I've got big red ones. So I just love glasses. So I just think glasses are fun and memorable, and that's a couple of my favorite things.
Oh, those are beautiful. You know, it's so funny because kids hate when they have, my daughter hated when she had to get glasses. Oh, it was a nightmare. And, you know, we got the pink ones and then she was okay with it because they were pink and, you know, but I love that you're making glasses chic. And jewelry
I love
for
them.
her. My mother, actually, I don't have it with me because I have to get it sized. She just gave me a ring and she's like, this was the first ring that I bought for myself. I mean, my mom's turning 80. She's giving away a bunch of stuff. And I don't know why she's doing that now because I'm like, you're still here. But she wanted to give it to me last time I was with her. And I was just really touched. I was like, that is so beautiful. Thank you. Vanessa, you were going to show us something. See, isn't this fun? Show and tell. It's so much fun.
I don't know if I start with the best, but
What?
for anybody that doesn't know the sport, it's my new pickleball paddle.
Those of you that know Vanessa, she is obsessed with the pickleball.
Obsessed. So this came and I tried it today.
Oh, it's a new one.
It's a new one. This is my
Oh,
old one.
is it like, oh, well, I can't really tell the difference, but okay. What's the difference between the two?
Well, one is,
one's thicker.
One is, thicker. You know, it's all part of the journey. But I think a lot about why I love pickleball so much, and why I'm completely obsessed with it. And I think, you know, it just checks all of the boxes of things that bring joy to my life, which is socializing, being mentally challenged, physically challenged, and winning, if I can be honest, you know, like doing well, accomplishing a goal. So yeah, I am super excited for this.
And by the way, you won a championship. Do you want to show your medal?
Sure.
That wasn't really twisting your arm, was it?
There you go. That was exciting because that was my first tournament and we won gold. That was nice. I've not won another gold yet, but we're working on it. No, but when I look around on my desk and all the things that I keep near that mean something to me, most of them are inspired by you, Karen. So my crystals,
Like
which
what?
used to be around my wrist, but have broken, but I keep them there and recharge
I've
them.
sent her a lot of crystal jewelry. Yes.
Yeah, my candle, but then also the notes that I'm supposed to read every day with intention. This one, well, this was a note that I made for myself. Was it from last week's call or maybe 2 weeks ago? Anyway, that's thanks to you. And then when I thought about my jewelry, it was also inspired by you. When my babies were born, you got me the initials of each of their names. But then the story evolves because it came on a gold chain, which because I tend to hold it, I wore it down and broke it. And I had it fixed and it broke again and I didn't want to lose these. So I ended up ordering this super cheap rubber necklace off Amazon. It was $5, but I didn't measure it and it was too long. And so what I ended up doing was just tying a knot in the necklace so that it sat right where I wanted it to sit. And it kind of forms a heart with the initials of my babies. And I cannot tell you how many compliments I get on this necklace. And I don't think I'll ever take it off. I actually will wear this to like a formal event and not take it off and put like a nicer necklace on because I love it. So thank you, Karen, for everything that you have inspired.
Well, you've inspired me with pickleball.
Yeah, there you go.
Vanessa's a cousin on the other, not the Pulver side. Yes. No, not the Pulver. No, not Pulver. Eric's mother's side. Not the Pulver side, the Zive side. Regardless, she's a cousin. Right. And I went to visit her and she's like, we're going to go play pickleball. I'm like, wow, what is pickleball? And we had the best day. So try it. It's a lot of fun. So we're going around. Would anyone else like to share their favorite thing? It's an adult show and tell. If not, I have a whole bag of stuff.
Wow.
Okay. This is one of my favorite things. Any type of, I watch The Housewives. I do have a guilty pleasure of watching The Housewives, which is kind of silly, but I do. And I noticed that they had these little gel things on their eyes. And I'm like, what? When they're on the phone or they're yelling at each other. And I'm like, what is that? And I went to a store and I actually found these and they feel so good. Like, I'm not joking. You put them on your eyes. I like to do this before I go out with my husband. And he walks and he's like, wait, are you playing football or something? Like, oh my God. If you put them in the freezer too and cool them, no joke. I can't see what you're writing because I need my glasses. Okay. Anyway, they feel really great. So any type of eye gel, if you go to a store, get them. I'm going to keep them on because they feel good just for the moment. Now, another item that I love, and this was actually brought up in an episode with Bite Me Girls, because they have a cookbook called Bite Me. I love my juicer. Hand up if you have one of these. Okay, but what I love about my juicer, because I am a preschool teacher, and this is so much fun, and Lauren, you may know this little trick. If you put Play-Doh, if you have young kids or even teenagers, they'll love this. If you put it in the juicer, look. Oh, it's not working. Hold on. I need more. You can make hair. What? Yeah. Yeah. Watch. I know. You're going to be so amazed at this little, look at that. Do you see that? Yeah. Legs, hair, whatever you want to call it. The kids love it. And I love it too. So that's the multi-use of the juicer. Okay, another item, and I showed this on Linda Babulik. Okay, these are now starting to burn, so I'm going to take them off. No, they're not really burning. They feel good, but they've done the trick, and now you rub in the stuff. Linda Babulik's episode, Zest Your Life, we talked about zesting. And I'm like, well, actually, I have the best. Do you remember, Linda? I showed this. I have the best microblade zester. You have to get one. Who has one? Okay,
I have several. People give me gifts of zesters.
Yeah, like I'm showing you things that make me happy. Like this makes me so happy. I'm not like promoting, I don't even know what brand this is, but I love this because it's so easy. You zest, and then there it is. And it just like, there you go. It's amazing. Love it. Okay, moving on. Cheryl Sloane, and she's going to be joining us February 9th, actually, on GGTV. She's our sexual goddess. So come, well, excuse me, that's not a good word to use. Join us. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Join us. That was bad. Lauren, I'm sorry. That was really bad. Join us February 9th because we are going to learn about sex toys and fun things to do with your partner. And that'll be right before Valentine's Day. But she actually talked about one of my favorite things now. I like these little bags. They're called Hive bags. And yeah, Vanessa, I gave you a bunch as a gift. They're great. They're waterproof, etc. But inside the bag is Uber Lube. Okay, Uber Lube, I know it's a little embarrassing, but Uber Lube is a great hair product. You rub it and use it in, well, yes, it has multi-purposes. You can decide, you can kind of figure out what the other purpose is, but it is great for your hair also. But she gave these out and it's a great product. I highly recommend it. Okay, next. And I've mentioned this before, journaling. This is my 5-minute journal. I think, David, you have like this, or maybe no, David, you journal, you free write, you do the Cameron something, Artist's Way. Is that right? Where it's just journaling. Can you tell us about that? I'm putting you on the spot, but I want, you have to unmute.
Well, Julia Cameron wrote The Artist's Way. It's a program based on writing 3 pages of longhand every day, preferably in the morning, and then going for artist dates and artist walks. And these are solo. You don't do these dates or walks with anybody else. And she's been doing it for 30 some years. At one time, she was married to Martin Scorsese. And then I guess she was an alcoholic. She started doing this journaling and hooked up with somebody down in New York to help people got really into it, creative people. So it's not really just for artists, it's for anybody. She calls it for recovering creatives.
And when you do the free, like that's a lot of time. How long does it take you?
I'd say half an hour to 45 minutes max.
But you carve that out and you just write and write and write?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, you're supposed to write anything. I mean, she literally has a little program you can listen to help understand this whole thing, but it's not that hard. You're supposed to write something.
So cool.
If you can't think of anything to write, she just said, write down, I can't think of anything to write. I can't think of anything to write. I can't think of anything.
Right. And you keep going.
Yeah, it's really to get sort of the stuff out of your head in the morning so you free up yourself and you get the creative juices flowing.
Oh, I like that. Mine is like 5 minutes. But I think I will try that tomorrow, just writing. But I like that mine is like, I'm grateful for 3 things. What could make today great? 3 things, daily affirmations. I am whatever. And then at the end of the day, 3 amazing things that happened today. And I actually have been skipping this last one. How could I have made today even better? I don't know. That bothers me because I'm like, no, today was great. But
where did you get that journal? Is that a particular, where did you wind up getting that one?
It's called intelligentchange.com and it's the 5-minute journal. And I really, really like it. This is my 3rd one. And it's funny when I look back and see what I wrote last year. Anyone else like to share before I dig into my bag?
It's called what's it called? Intelligentchange.com?
In intelligentchange.com. Yes.
Thank you.
And it's called the 5-minute journal. Tanis, what would you like to share, my dear?
It is a crystal, but it has a little bit of a story to it. So it's this beautiful septarian crystal. And I was over at a friend's place who is another intuitive and stuff. And we had a circle. She had a gathering. This was pre-COVID, obviously. And she had this beautiful flame, something like this one, but it was rose quartz. And so I was going through some emotional stuff at the time. And I saw her rose quartz and she's like, pick it up. So I pick it up and I burst into tears because it was healing stuff. And I was like, okay. She's like, she takes it away from me. She goes, here. And she hands me septarian, one of the septarian. She goes, do this. And I swear, instantaneous. The energy changed. It grounded me. It made me feel so calm. So I ended up buying it from her. She sells crystals as well. And she told me it was for sale. And so I bought this. So this is my septarian heart that when I'm feeling uneasy or need some grounding, it's a great tool for me. And the heart, it really connects with that heart chakra because of the shape and the grounding. So that's one of my favorite things.
Beautiful. What is the stone called?
Septarian.
And what is it supposed to do?
It's all about that grounding and comforting. And
I need one.
It's also called the dragon stone. So do
you sell that in your store?
Yep. We have some of these because of course, when I had that experience, I'm like, we need to carry some of these. So yes. I have some little palm stones and I have the mini tumbled as well. So
Oh, well, put your store in the chat. Maybe people might want to get one.
The store is not up and running just yet. We're still in the preparation stages, but if you connect with me, I'll give you our link. And if you connect with me, we can arrange something. It's just not up online just yet, but yeah.
That is really beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else like to share? Go and tell.
Can I share?
Stella, yes. What brings you happiness and joy? Oh,
I just want to share. This is my daughter's grade 1 gift of Mother's Day gift. And that was, she's very creative. I didn't know that she was so creative, but she came from school and she was like, handing this out like in the air in her school bag like that so as you notice that it is joined by hand and all the little pieces and the little patterns. And I keep it in my bedroom, and she's now 30, but I still have it. And I have 2 beautiful grandchildren, and they are so lovely. Can I show you the picture?
Please.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I've kept every Mother's Day gift, and my kids, my husband's like, throw them out. Because, you know, they're so, I know, like they're so special, right? Even though those macaroni necklaces, I mean, come on. Lauren, you're shaking your head. Oh, adorable. See, there's a photo.
That's gorgeous, Estella.
Gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
What are their names?
His name is Kellen, and my granddaughter is, I always forget her name because I call her Sweetie all the time. But
okay.
It's Octavia.
Oh, it's beautiful. I know Bongai also.
But this is funny. This is very funny because she likes ballet, and he dances tropical music. I don't know where he gets that from, because the father is Anglo as well, and and I don't know where he got that from. I guess most Latino blood that I don't know where they got it from. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I can't believe you and Bongai are grandmothers. Like, yeah, that's I raise your hand if you're a grand. Who else? Lynn. Like, you guys just look too young. You have 4. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I need to do what you're doing. Okay. Oh, Renata, do you have something that you would like to? Oh, no, sorry. You just messaged me about coming on Grateful Goddesses. Okay. Sorry about that. But do you have something you'd like to share, Renata? I'm putting you on the spot. I like to do that.
Okay. I mean, there are a lot of things I was thinking about. What really makes me smile, to be honest, it's when I come into work and I see my individuals that I work with, and, you know, I go to get them, and like, I work with adults with developmental disabilities, and, you know, sometimes I'll come in and they're like not in a great place, and then I come in and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to go to speech, and like they'll get really happy and excited, and they'll smile or laugh, and that's like a very rare thing to see with some of them. So like, that's one of the first things that makes me happy, because I love being able to do that for them. I love being able to connect. I really go above and beyond. Like, I go so much further than I really, you know, usually someone in my position just kind of stays in their room and just brings the people in, takes them back, and that's it. I go into their in day hab program. So I go into like their classrooms and I do whatever I can to connect with them during that time, and, you know, just help out in whatever way I can. So we have like a really solid connection. So that's kind of one of my favorite things. But another one of my favorite things is this necklace I got for myself for my birthday a couple of years ago. It's got all these, I don't know if you can see, but it's got lots and lots of different gemstones in it. And I wear that like every time we do our readings. Thank you, Vanessa. And I'm trying to take it off so I can show it to you guys, but it's got lots and lots of different gemstones in it.
You made that?
No, I bought it.
Oh, okay.
It was like at a TJ Maxx or something. And I, you know, it was my birthday, and I just, for some reason, I was like looking at the stuff that they had there, and this really, really connected with me. So I ended up actually like using it every time we do our show and we do readings. I like to have this on because it's got so many of these different gemstones, and I feel like it really helps ground me and channel and kind of protect me. So I don't have a nice crystal collection yet, like the ladies do. I'm sure I will at some point, but for now, this is kind of what helps.
That's kind of like an all-in-one package.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love, you know what, this is a really good representation of what makes me happy. Like, at some point, I used to always like wear black, which I guess this is kind of that, which I almost never do anymore. And then all of a sudden I just kind of switched into colors, and like, I just love rainbow stuff. That makes me happy. Rainbow colors make me really happy. So like, whatever I can incorporate rainbow colors into, I do that. I don't know. It's so silly, but I love connecting to my child side and
the chakras Tanis was saying, the colors. Yeah. You know, when I met my my husband's mother, who's unfortunately passed away 25 years ago. But when I met my husband and I met her, said I would always just wear white, gray, and black all the time. She said, you would really look good in red. And she made me buy this red, or she bought it for me, this red blazer. And I was like, I'm never wearing this blazer, but I had to wear it because she bought it for me. And it's crazy about colors. That was another thing I wanted to add to the list. Before you guys came on, I went through, it was the top runners of favorite things were journals, gemstones, animals, nature, photos, rituals, candles, lights, and jewelry, but also wearing certain colors. Rachel, one of our featured goddesses, loves to wear pink. She's always wearing pink. That's like her power color. And I don't know, it's really interesting when you know what their favorite color is. I'd love to know. Type it in the chat.
There's more to that, Karen. There's more to that. And I actually can tell when I'm looking at someone what their power color is. But usually, like, I'll see it if they're, So like Michelle's power color is like that teal or like a forest green that brings out her like just energetic power. So when I see someone in their power color, I always know right away. And I'm like, oh, you're wearing your power color. This is what brings out like your energy, your like your strongest, like your chakras get aligned.
Well, it's funny because a lot of the kids that I teach, Lauren, I don't know if this happens to you, but a lot of the little boys, they're like blue, green, and little girls are like purple, pink. Yeah.
The worst is when they say, oh, it's a girl color. You can't like pink. So we have lots of talks about that.
There are
I did have a little boy
amazing in pink and salmon or pink. I've seen men wearing like it and they look like rocket.
It's one of those things that we'll hopefully not have to do forever, and the genderness of the colors will disappear.
Exactly.
And they will just be colors.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I had a little boy I tutored last year and he said pink and I was like, yay, great, pink, yay. Because pink is beautiful. I love pink. And speaking of pink, okay, I'm going to end the show. Before I end, I want to show some of the my favorite things, which are kind of like, it's not that I don't like aging. I do like aging, but there's a few things that I do to help with the aging process. Is that a good way of saying it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is more of a female thing, but because maybe men too, but my gray comes in, right? And I have blonde hair. So I have this product. It's called Color Wow Root Cover Up. So if you have black hair, you can use mascara until you get your roots done. But if you have blonde hair, you use this. And
what's it called? I love it. What's it called?
It's called Wow Color. Wow.
Where do you get it?
I think I got it at Sephora, but I put it on, it's like a makeup for your roots. And before I do a show, if I'm like, haven't gotten my roots done, I will use this because why not? Why not? My mom stopped coloring her hair when she turned 70. She went gray, but I'm not doing that yet. I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay. Another thing that I got from Randy Schinder, who I interviewed, she owns a company that makes these neck wands. And it's called SBLA, Neck, Chin, and Jawline Sculpting Wand. And again, like I'm not promoting like these are things that I actually use that I love. And you pump it. And I actually, because this part of your body, especially for women and men too, is not taken care of. And like think about it. When you moisturize in the morning, do you do your neck? So this is specific to your neck. This is the day, and then this is the night. I don't know if my neck has changed. I could try and show you like before pictures, but this has been like 2 years of using it daily. Whatever. Listen, if I think it works and it works, it makes me happy.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell when you always look amazing, Karen.
You're very sweet. But the neck.
So young.
The what?
You look so young.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
No, it's true.
I'm 55, but I'm still using the neck.
I don't think so.
Why not?
No, you're lying.
Okay. Now people might be, when you see this, you might be like, ooh, no, gross, no way. But you can get any different kind. is actually Skin Soothing Trio, and it's by Jenny Patinkin that I'm trying to interview. So if anyone can get me into her, she is, she has a cosmetic line and brushes and stuff. And this is actually a female razor for your face. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but I went to a you have it too, Vanessa? I went to a dermatologist and she said, do you want me to microblade your face? I'm like, no. What is that? She goes, it's like a shaving thing. I'm like, no, it's all going to grow back. What are you talking about? I'm going to have a beard. She's like, no, trust me.
It didn't?
So I spent all this money on her to do this and my skin felt so soft. Now, yes, it grows back, but it's like not like a beard. You know, it grows back to peach fuzz, which is what I had before.
Yeah.
But what's so great about these is you can do it yourself. Okay. You can do this yourself at home. Vanessa, where'd you get yours? At the drugstore?
I got it at like TJ Maxx or Marshall, something like that in the beauty section.
So, okay. So this is more like
high end,
high end, but you can, so there are these little things. And what you do is, I'll show you. Hopefully I won't get a cut, but you literally go down like this and up against your skin and here and here, and it takes away the peach fuzz. And then when you use a product, it just, your skin just sucks it right in. This is if you have peach fuzz. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe your skin is very soft and smooth. Mine, I have a lot of peach fuzz. So I love this. Vanessa, do you use it like 1 month?
I use it about, my daughter, who's very much into beauty routines and everything, said not to use it more than once a month. But
yeah, yes, I use mine once a month.
Yeah.
And then when I put the moisturizer in, it's like sucks it all up. And there you go.
Good to know.
Anyone else like to share before we end the show with one of my last favorite things? Anyone? Anyone? No. Okay. My last favorite. Oh, Vanessa, yes.
You.
Oh, stop it.
There we go.
Vanessa, I love you. And I love you all. This is my like Wednesday night jam. I love this group. And before I attended Renata, Michelle, Marie, and Tanis, they did a reading. It was on target. So we will talk, but they do their show on Facebook. You have to listen to it. Okay. One of my last favorite things was actually one of my featured goddesses, Lara Brodkin, who happens to be my sister-in-law. This is not why I'm saying it's one of my favorite things. I really do love this. She has a program called Glow Fit. So check it out. Glow Fit by Lara. And it is a compound weight training program. And I actually, oh, thank you, Lauren. I actually do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays. And for me, it's 8:30. For Canadians in Toronto or Ottawa, it's 9:30. And it's a weight program that she does. But at the end of the program, she always does a meditation. And it's great because it's like she says, fit bodies, calm minds. So she'll do this whole workout, which is totally like, I'm telling you, you can do it. If you're saying, no, I can't do it, you can do it because she shows modifications. You can make it harder or softer. And your first class is free. So if you sign up, she told me I could say that, your first class is free if you want to try it. So at the end of every workout, she does a meditation and she reads a quote. And I'd like to end tonight's favorite things show with this quote from Brene Brown. Okay, she says, the willingness to show up changes us. It makes us a little braver each time we overcome the urge to stay in our comfort zone. And I thought that was perfect. I did her workout today and I listened to this quote and I said, oh my gosh, I'm doing favorite things tonight. And for some people, it's stepping out of their comfort zone, like trying out some of these things or exploring into new ventures of new products or new rituals. But what I love about my show that I have on Grateful Goddesses is hearing what makes people happy. And then I try it out. I'm like, no, not for me. Like you may not want to use this neck wand or you may not want to try this out, but maybe you do. And maybe you'll try it. Maybe you'll go buy some jewelry or go, look at your pieces more closely, see how meaningful they are for you. Or like with Tanis, a stranger, well, now she knows who it is, but like give a piece to someone, see if it brightens their day, right? That's what life's about. So hopefully you've enjoyed our show and tell. You all get A+, and join us.
Compliments, giving random compliments to people too brings me so much joy.
What do you say to people? Like, I like your skirt, or I like your
you look radiant.
smile.
You look radiant today. Or I try not to make it so much about like what they physically look like, and more about like what their spirit is. And I always you know, like if I have a coworker that's particularly kind to me or whatever, I always make sure that I thank them. You know, I have this wonderful coworker who, when I started working at this new job, was always kind and loving and supportive. And I always tell her, like, I literally will cry as I tell her, because I really like being vulnerable and just very open. I think it's really important for us to tell other people when their relationship to us is really meaningful, when their presence in our lives is really meaningful. So I try to be present with that.
That is so beautiful. And you know what came to mind, and I'm going over the 8 o'clock, so sorry, but I have to tell this story because this is something that happened to me that was a random act of kindness that I will never forget. And I don't know how I'm going to find this gentleman, but my brother had brain surgery about 3 years ago, and I went to Germany to help him. And I stayed there for about 3 weeks, helping him and my parents. And, you know, I had laundry and I couldn't find a laundromat anywhere. It was far away and I just didn't have time. I couldn't get there because I had to visit my brother every day. And I remember sitting in the lobby, and I went up to the front desk and I said, how much is your laundry service? And the guy said, it's $250 for what you have. Like, I had my laundry bag. I'm like, you know, crying. I'm like, I don't want to spend $250. I'll put it in the sink. And I sat back down, sitting there. And then he came up to me about 10 minutes later. I was still sitting there. I was sort of moping. And he came up and he said, we'll do it for you. No worries. And I said, what? And he said, that gentleman that was sitting over there is paying for your laundry. And I looked and he was gone. I don't know who he was. I was like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, my Lord, I'm going to have clean underwear. Like, you know how like laundry, it makes you so happy. I mean, I'd been there 3 weeks, going on to 4. I don't know who he is. And I asked this gentleman at the front desk, I said, who is he? He's a regular that comes to this hotel. He would not tell me who he was. So if you're listening, maybe you're out there. Thank you for paying for my laundry, because that was the best gift ever. And that's how I'll end the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and do a random act of kindness. Pay for someone's laundry. Cheers.
It was adorable. Thank you. It was great. Thank you.
It's nice to be here again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night, Danny, Tennis, and everybody else. Have fun. Have a nice week.
Good night. Take care.
Good night, everyone.